Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and
Hmm.
he didn't have a license.
Oh. For those of you who may or may not just be listening, what you see here is a judge in a court um, prosecuting somebody who has a, driving without a license uh, violation or ticket. And the said person, whose name is, I think his name is Corey something. I believe his name is Corey something. And yeah, he is taking the Zoom call in the driver's seat of a car. So we're going to keep watching this.
Oh.
Mm.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license.
Mm-hmm.
He's suspended and he's just driving.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Oh.
Mm.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
Well, thank you, Mr. Harris, for that very much. You were very informative, and we wish the best of luck with you with your, driving without a license. That looks like a good plan. Look, it's just nice sometimes when you feel like your life is going to shit, and then you look at some other people's life decisions and choices, and they just, man, they make you look like Elon Musk, don't they? I mean, some people, they make you look like geniuses. So, good luck to Mr. Harris out there. There's a second part of that clip where we will watch later, but, we like to build suspension on this podcast. It is kind of crazy, though, right? Like, some people get away with insane crimes. Like, yeah, we don't need to name names here, but, Bill Cosby isn't in prison. You know what I mean? He's just, he's not in prison. We got Kevin Spacey. He's still out there. He's chilling. Diddy, we don't really know what's going on with him, but I'm sure he'll get out of prison one day. So, it's been an interesting week for some of those people, though, right? We got Kevin Spacey. He's coming out. He's coming out of the closet, if you know what I'm saying. No, he's coming back though. He's trying to save his career, and I think that, look, I support anybody giving a second chance, and I also support him molesting people to give them fame. If it's me, I support it then and then only. I just don't like how he decides to molest others and then gives them fame or maybe possibility of fame, and he doesn't do it with me. That's my main issue with this whole story with Kevin Spacey and a lot of these, Dan Schneider things, is I don't understand why wasn't I included in this mix. I don't know. I've been trying to get somewhere for like 4 years now. For like since I was like 16, I'd say I'm very committed to the idea of stepping up the ladder. I'll say that. I'll say that instead of getting molested. I'll say stepping up the ladder. Can I say, it's a fun idea that you would skip multiple steps and become immediately successful. The problem is with Kevin, I don't know any of his names. Any of his accusers. They don't got big names. It's not like a Timothy Chalamet. You know what I mean? Like if Timothy Chalamet came out and he was like, Kevin Spacey, he touched me, you'd be like, well, Timmy, come on. You're Willy Wonka. Don't you want to be Willy Wonka? But it's not the case with a lot of these Kevin people. They're all like low underground. So I'd be upset too. Listen to me. If I got touched by Kevin Spacey, I didn't become famous and he didn't come on this podcast afterward, I'd be a little upset. I'd be a little butthurt. I'm not going to lie. That being said, Kevin, if you're listening, if your legal department is listening, whoever, if you're willing to come on this podcast, you can do whatever you'd like to me physically, and I will fight all of your accusers. I will fist fight all of them. Every single one. I'll come out swinging, okay? In fact, you know what? Here's what I'm willing to do. If Kevin Spacey, darling Kevin Spacey, if you come on this if you show your face, if you just walk in it, you don't even have to say anything. Just walk into the frame, and then you can walk out of it, and I'll let you do anything, and then I'll challenge all of your accusers to an MMA fight. I will. I'll get in the cage with them, and I will try to put them in an armbar. I will try that. If you give me the money, I will sign up for jiu-jitsu. I've never done any, real physical combat sports, or any martial art, really. I did wrestling for 1 month, and then I quit. So, listen to me. And if you don't think, by the way, if you're like, they'll never let that happen. They'll never let two, a little boy very close. The problem is, well, let me finish this point. They'll never let, somebody very close to Kevin Spacey go and fight a Kevin Spacey accuser. That will never happen in MMA. And I go, you don't know Dana White, my friend. You don't know who that man is. And I believe he would, in fact, let it happen. And not only would he let it happen, he'd probably make it the main part of the card. Of the pay-per-view, would probably be the main event of that. I would say that he would let that happen. The problem is with Kevin Spacey, though, with me, is I'm 20 now. So I'm 2 years, he might not like that. He might only like 16 and 17-year-old boys, which everybody has a preference, okay? I'm not one to judge, okay? I am, unless I'm not included in that list. And I was here. I was right here, 16, 17, double cheeked up, cute as hell, and I wanted to be molested to step up the ladder. And Kevin didn't allow that, so I do have personal beef with Kevin. But it's just interesting to see what approach these people take when they try to come back. It's always interesting to see. Everybody kind of does a different approach to, coming back from being accused as a pedophile. It's interesting to see. You know what I mean? Like, Drake, where Drake came back after Kendrick called him a pedophile. Drake was like, I never touched Millie Bobby Brown. I don't know what you're talking about. And everyone in the room was like, well, nobody said Millie Bobby Brown. You kind of said that there, buddy. So it is interesting to see how some of these pedophiles try to come back. I didn't know about this. I found this today looking up the Kevin Spacey stuff. And I found something, by the way, I'm a little sick right now. I'm a little stuffed. My brain's a little slow at the moment, so please forgive me. But anyways, let's look at this, because I didn't know about this. I didn't know that this was a thing. And why don't you take a look?
Talk to them every Christmas. You give a statement. It is Christmas Eve. What is your statement specifically this year?
Tucker, I think it's just good enough to sip some eggnog and decorate the tree and listen to White Christmas and embrace all the things that make this such a special day. The truth is, I love nothing better on this day than to do a line of blow, drink a whiskey and coke, hit a reindeer with my car, and wish you all the naughtiest Christmas ever.
Preach.
You know, you and I have
Preach. That's right there. That's preach. I like that. No. I like that a lot. If you didn't know what that was, don't blame yourself. That was Kevin Spacey playing a character of his, a character on the TV show House of Cards, where he played like a corrupt politician who broke the fourth wall, and that's sort of what he was doing right there, where he turned and looked at the camera and talked about doing a line of blow and I don't know, hitting somebody's balls. It doesn't matter. The reality is that. Let me make this point, okay? Look, Kevin, if you're coming back, all right, if you're going to save your career, which I'm in full support of, everybody deserves a second chance, even if you've molested people. Here's the thing. You cannot, talk about doing blow and touching people's balls and hitting reindeer. You gotta be like, a mild character. You gotta be like a mild, nice character. Like the funny grandpa. You know what I mean? You gotta be like this silly old, there's the grandpa. That's what you gotta be. You can't. Like, there's no more. Remember in American Beauty where Kevin Spacey played a pedophile? That can't happen again. That can't happen again. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, which nobody's going to correct me because I'm in a room alone by myself, and somebody should be in the room making sure that my straitjacket stays on correctly. But that's not the case. So, where was I? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right, of course. I believe in House of Cards, the character he plays does touch little boys or kiss little boys or maybe does inappropriate things with some people. We can't have him playing a character with Tucker Carlson. We can't, I mean, does the dyslexic guy have to spell this out for everybody? Can we not have Tucker Carlson interviewing Kevin Spacey, where a character where he might have done inappropriate things? That doesn't seem like a good, it just doesn't, I don't know. I would have liked to hear Joe Rogan try to talk to Tucker about this on his interview, but they just wanted to talk about aliens fucking each other, which is fine. I support, I guess. But it is a little weird because we do need, I'm okay with some of these people coming back, but we do need to be a little bit more, cautious with what's going on here. Like Michael Jackson. He's dead, so he's not coming back. But with people keeping Michael Jackson songs on their phones and on their playlists and playing Michael Jackson, that's fine, I suppose, separate art from the artist. But can we leave Pretty Little Young Thing out of the playlist, please? Can we leave Pretty Little Young Thing by Michael Jackson out of the playlist? Can we do that? I mean, come on. Just leave that. Just that one. You can keep Thriller, Beat It, Jackson 5, of course. But can we leave Pretty Little Young Thing? Just leave that one. Yeah. Do I need to explain it? Do I gotta spell it out for you here, ladies and gentlemen and transvestites? Can we not, please, leave that one out? Drake, we can't, he can't sing certain songs. that's got to end. Even like Drake shouldn't even be allowed to date anybody who's under the age of like 26. Really, even under 26. And I'm not saying dating a 26-year-old when you're whatever 30 or is weird, but yeah, I mean, if you're accused of being a pedophile, you should stick on the older side. You should stick on the older side. You should stick on the older side. Kevin Spacey, he should stay away from the roles where it may or may not be a pedophile. Truly. He should stay away from that. And, but no, this was 5 months ago, but it wasn't a real interview. But Kevin, he's doing real interviews now, and it's apparently because this documentary is coming out about Kevin, where 10 people, it's about 10 accusers, all men, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not going to. But I believe it's all men, and I believe they're all claiming, diddle time with the good old Kevin. But, again, I don't know why none of them are famous, because I bet if he made them famous, they wouldn't be a documentary. But I don't know. I don't know what these people are doing with these molesting kids and then not giving them fame. What do you think's happening? What do you think's gonna happen? You don't think they're gonna be angry? You don't think they're gonna be a little upset? I don't know, man. I just don't get it. But anyway, of course he's claiming it all to be untrue, which is just weird. To have 10 people all go on like a document. People like they'll say this, right, about like the Michael Jackson documentary. Like, well, they just made it for the money, man. They just made it for the money. You can make a documentary about like monkeys, right? And like people will watch like a monkey documentary. You can go on Joe Rogan and talk about your monkey documentary. Or you can, make a documentary about National, Geographic. People watch that. That's on Disney Plus. It's not easy making a documentary is what I'm trying to say. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I'm not saying that there's never been a false documentary out there that maybe hasn't been made by somebody with not good intentions before. But you can't just be like a documentary, it's like a book. Like if somebody writes like a book about something, it's like you wrote a book. You know how it's not easy to write a book is what I'm trying to say here, people. And it's not easy to make a documentary about something. And sure, you could make up an entire documentary about fact or about false information. And there have been documentaries that have been wrong. A lot of documentaries have probably been wrong. But to say that somebody would put in the amount of time and effort that it takes to make a documentary when it's all a lie. I mean, you got to be like a special sociopath to do that. You know what I mean? You got to be like somebody very, like, Patrick Bateman. You got to be like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho to make a documentary if you think it's fake. Just putting hours upon hours of labor into something that you apparently think that it's completely bullshit. Now, to say that maybe some of these people are wrong, who are making it, but it's like you got to get like 10 different people to lie consistently and then go over and edit and record. It's just a lot of work for it to be fake. You know what I mean? It would be, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I mean, maybe that's not saying a lot, but I wouldn't, make a documentary about somebody claiming that they're a pedophile if I don't think that they're a pedophile. I wouldn't do it. It's not for me, I guess. I suppose it's not for me. But Kevin's he's coming back on. He's coming on news programs. It's always interesting when you get news programs to come on and talk about it. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, who watches them? Who's watching these news programs that you're going on? Who is it? And I know that it's like kind of funny to say, but like, go on internet shows. They're way more popular. A lot more people are going to see them. They have better interviewers. Not mine. Not, you shouldn't come on the Kpush podcast, although you can if you want. But, it's just weird to go on like some random news programs. Nobody really knows. Nobody really watches. Maybe people know about it. Maybe you have like a company logo that people see and they can tell you what it is. But to be like, everybody fucking is going to see this. This is my comeback. This is how I'm going to get people. It's like, go on the Tim Dillon show. Go on Tim Dillon. Go talk to Theo Vaughn. Go talk to Theo Vaughn. Maybe he'll go talk to call me. What's the podcast name? Call her daddy. Call my daddy. Who gives a fuck? Go talk to Bobby Altov, will ya? Go. Could you imagine just Bobby Altov and Kevin Spacey talking? Two people who are playing roles that they don't even really fully understand, talking to each other. Just Bobby giving like backhanded compliments the whole time, and Kevin lying to her the entire time, but nobody can tell because he's such a good actor. Such a good actor. Here's the reality. Would you not want Kevin Spacey to not be a pedophile? I know I want him to not be a pedophile. Or to not. I don't even really know what the claims is. Maybe it's not pedophilia, it's just sexual misconduct. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's so hard to keep track of everybody and what they are. Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby. Even though that they're all different crimes, it's like, ugh, Drake, whatever. You're fucking weird. You're all fucking weird. But he did go on this one interview, right? I don't even know where it is. It's Secrets Kept With Me interview with Allison Pearson. Who is Allison Pearson? Who is she? Could anybody tell me who Allison Pearson is? Anybody at all? I think I could show 100 people in like a random city, and I would bet $1 million that 0 out of those 100 people will have any idea who Allison Pearson is. I mean, it's insane. But, let's watch the start of
Kevin,
this.
you've been acquitted in 2 criminal courts, and one here in the UK, one in the States, and in a civil lawsuit where your accuser actually had to pay you damages. Now Channel 4 has broadcast this 2-part documentary, Spacey Unmasked, with 10 more guys making yet more accusations of unwanted sexual behavior against you. What was your reaction to that documentary?
Well, we only heard about that documentary very briefly before they decided to air it.
Nice. Okay. He didn't hear about it. He didn't hear about an entire documentary being made that he was, sexual misconduct, rape, it's all whatever it is. All fucking accusations, an entire documentary. He had no idea. He just, he woke up one morning and was like, wow, let me check Twitter or X, whatever the fuck. Just checking, his phone, scrolling, and he goes, huh, unmasked. Sounds all right. What is it? Oh. Would you look at that? It's a documentary about me being a pedophile. Who would have known? I didn't know. Not me. There. By the way, you can physically see how taken back he is by, I mean, like a 30-second question. I mean, she just.
Kevin, you've been acquitted in 2 criminal courts and one.
Very briefly.
Whoops.
Well, you know,
Well, and he like looks around the room. He looks around. He literally looks around the room. By the way, it's like it is like a 30-second, 35-second question. It was a good question, very well worded. Not not dissing the question, but just like very stereotypical. I didn't hear about it until the night before it aired. It was like, what? What do you mean you didn't hear about it? What are you touching little boys or something? Like, what are you busy doing? That's a weird thing that you didn't hear about it. You know what I mean? I would have heard about it. I would have heard if somebody. By the way, I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope like tomorrow there's a whole documentary about Chris Pushkar and how he's a pedophile and how I have just like a ginormous sex ring going on in my basement. And I'm like, I would know. I would know. By the way, I don't have that. Don't find this clip like 10 years later and be like, oh, look. He's got a sex ring in the basement. We always knew. No, I don't. Relax. Anyways, that's our boy Kevin. We welcome him back with full arms. We especially welcome here if he wants to molest me and come do an interview with me. And I will fight the people that have accused you if you just molest me and make me famous. So please, consider your options wisely here, Kevin. Consider them. I'm going to now take another large, dramatic sip of water. Give me 1 second. It's not water, it's seltzer. I lied to all of you. I do deeply apologize. Anyway, we're here. We're still back. We're still recovering from, basically my best friend fucking my ex-girlfriend. But we're moving on. We need to, start to move on about it. It is hard to move on, though, where you just are kind of still stuck in the same situation, that happened many months ago now. But yeah, you just still wonder, like, why was I so stupid? How did I not see any of this coming? Because this doesn't just happen. I guess this does relate to my point, right, about the documentary being made. I guess maybe you wouldn't know if a documentary was being made about you if you being accused of being a pedophile. Just like I didn't know that my best friend was probably going to fuck my girlfriend. But, look, I do have some sympathy for you now, Kevin. I always relate. Do you see how I always go? I always go in circles. I'm always trying to go forward. I feel like I keep going 1 step forward and 2 steps back. I'm always doing this weird dance with myself here in my brain. But anyway, we're going to start to move on. I am going to start to reach out to other people for guests so that we're not just doing solo episodes, because I swear to God, if I have to record another solo episode before I interview somebody, I think I might jump off my roof. But that's besides the point. I am starting to feel better about doing the podcast. You know what I mean? I just came back from Aruba. And it was an interesting trip, to say the least. I'm so sorry. It's the seltzer. I need to stop drinking the seltzer. It makes me all, burpy. I hate, I don't know why I said there. I fucking, you know what I mean? There's nothing worse than a 20-year-old saying, like, I'll kill you, you dumb faggot. Anyway, I did come back from Aruba. I got sick in Aruba, so, feel bad for me. First world problems over here. I know, it's a struggle. I struggle out here. My dad was in a cast. Fuck him, though. He was fine, walking around in a cast. He was trying to get wheelchaired around like a dumb pussy. I almost hit him a couple times. He was walking around, strolling, not walking. He was strolling around in a fucking wheelchair. I almost, pushed him down the escalator. Couldn't handle it. Seeing your father in a wheelchair. Ugh. If your dad's a paraplegic, I mean, he can't even have the option to run away. You know what I mean? At least I know my dad chose to stay. If your dad's in a wheelchair, he's stuck with you. You never know if he wants to be with you or not. You know what I mean? He's just fucking there all the time. But anyways, I don't know where that came from. That came from another side of my brain. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen and transvestites. I'm telling you, man. When is somebody coming to lock me away? Somebody please get your ass in here and take me to a mental asylum. So maybe, just maybe, I feel like this podcast will blow up when I'm finally committed. You know what I mean? Like, once that happens, once I'm behind bars and they have me in a straitjacket locked to a bed, that's the moment. That's the moment this will blow up. It'll be as big as Joe Rogan then, because they'll just find all the things. Like, how do we not know? This guy just had a podcast? We really should look into people who have more podcasts. That's what they'll say. That's what they say when they find the 3 bodies in my backyard. But, anyways, it was a good trip. It's nice being able to legally drink somewhere. It's very strange when you're... I'm used to illegally drinking. I'm 20 years old. I've been drinking since I was 13, 12? Whatever. Whatever enough damaged my brain that I decided to make a podcast. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm used to drinking illegally. This is the thing, though, is that it was nice to drink there legally and not worry, but it was kind of nice coming back and being like, ooh, it's illegal again. I could go to prison again. Although I have drank on this podcast for almost 4 years now, and there's no sign of anybody really caring. So it's like kind of illegal here, I guess. You just really can't drink in bars. That's it. That's really it. The 21 plus drinking age in America is really just not being able to drink in bars. Other than that, anybody at the age of like 17, 18 can get booze in America. If you can't get booze in America when you're 17 or 18 years old, you're a virgin or you're a faggot or you're a combination of the two, which is completely fine. You live your lifestyle, I'll live mine. But it's very, very easy. It's basically a joke. There's liquor stores where if you walked into with a Pokemon card, they'd fucking let you leave with a bottle of Hennessy. So you're good to go here in America. But it's funny because my mom would like go on a tangent like, oh, it's so nice being able to drink here, legally. Isn't this nice? This is fun, but we couldn't do this in America. I'm like, yeah, you can change that. You're 50 years old, and I don't think you've ever shown a concern at all about letting, 18-year-old adults have a sip of beer at a bar. You've never done that before. Ever. All these people who like go to Aruba and like go to places, this is not just my mother. It's one very small example. But these people who will literally take their kids to another country so that they can drink with them at a bar is insane. It is a little like fucking crazy. No? Like it's instead of, maybe showing some interest here at the country. When did alcohol even become illegal? It was like the 70s, 80s, when the 21 age limit come in, like 70s, 80s, 60s, something around then. Like they were alive. They were like alive. Maybe they were 10, sure, but like you never thought ever. I mean, I've never heard an adult be like, you know what I want for my president? For him to let people who go out to another country and serve the country and are willing to die for the country. But when they come back, they can't, go to a bar and enjoy a Modelo. It seems a little backhanded, I will say. If I joined the United States military and I went to, Iraq, Vietnam, or any fake war that the United States didn't need to get into and started without any real reason, and I died there, or I watched my friend die and I came back, or maybe I became paraplegic over there and I came back without the use of my legs, and I still couldn't drink. I would go, this is odd. This is odd. No, I can't walk anymore. 'Cause you gave me a gun and sent me to another foreign, country, but can't have a Modelo or a Miller Lite. Okay. So I would just, and there's no hope, by the way, nobody has like any real hope. When you're like, we can't change the drinking age in America, right? Like that's not in the Constitution. It wasn't like one of the, first 10 Constitution rules, right? It's not like freedom of speech. They're like, well, you're retarded. Don't even say that. That's just any American, when you go, you can't change the laws here to like make sense. Every American just looks at you and goes, well, you sound retarded and we should maybe put you somewhere. You need to go somewhere. You need help. You need a little help. And you just go, okay, well, this was a fun conversation, and you move on. So I just thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting. Me and my father, we got into a little argument because it was a long conversation, and I really don't feel like getting into it to a certain degree. But basically, the thing that I said that I think made him upset was, if you don't let Beyonce give you a blowjob because, he claimed because he's not into black women, so my dad wouldn't get a blowjob from Beyonce because, she's of the darker skin. And I would go, well, that seems beyond preference. It seems a little beyond it feels like you got a touch of the, you got a touch of the racism a little bit. You know what I mean? Or you're gay. Either one. You're like a, little gay, little racism, going on there. Maybe. If you don't let Beyonce just blow you one real quick. It just seems a little odd. It seems beyond preference. I would even say, like, even if you say that you're not gay and you're a guy, but, you wouldn't let Tom Brady blow you? What the fuck are you doing? I mean, that seems a little crazy. You might need to open your horizons a little bit. But I don't really want to get into it because if any one of my family members hears this, I don't think it will end well. So, moving on. It was a nice trip though. Overall, aside from that little argument, it was a nice trip. It was very nice. Got to drink lots of booze. I was sick. That's probably why I'm still sick, but we make do here. We're a real alcoholic family. By the way, my mom looked at me the first night I was sick. I found out I was sick. I was like, I don't really want to drink, Mom, because it might make it worse. And she goes, don't be a pussy. Drink. That's what she said to me. No, she didn't call me a pussy, but she did tell me to drink. She did legitimately be like, well, why aren't you drinking then? You're sick. Of course. Drink booze. You'll feel better. That's what she said to me. So it's always fun to have an alcoholic mother. It's always a good time. At the end of the day, no matter what, if you have an alcoholic mother, life is a little bit more interesting. I don't really have, anything else going on too much. There's anything else going on in the news that's interesting. Of course, you got Ukraine and you got Israel. You still got them. Gaza is in the heat of attention. And again, my opinion on the Ukraine, Gaza, Israel is that it's not good, okay? That's what I've said from the beginning. And as a 20-year-old, you shouldn't know that much or care that much about foreign wars. Anyway, Billie Eilish dropped an album. Billie Eilish dropped an album, which we always appreciate around here. We always appreciate a Billie Eilish album. And I know I'm saying her name wrong. Shut up. I get it. Yes, it's not that funny of a joke, but I think it's funny. But we always appreciate a good Billie album over here because, it keeps the Swifties at bay. It keeps the Taylor Swift fans from shutting the fuck up for a little bit when the Billie album drops. So we always appreciate Billie over the whore Taylor. We do here. That's what we do. Apple Music released their top 100 albums of all time, which was about as atrocious as Apple Music. So, no, I don't think Apple Music is actually that atrocious. Although that was a great, setup punchline there. I mean, it was just one quick, very smooth, very good, very good. But it is funny to see, some of the top 100 albums of all time. You don't get, I don't even think you had an MF Doom album in there. You missed some big ones, I'll say. I'll say they missed a couple big ones. But again, what is the, top 100? The top 200 albums of all time are all basically the same level. Once you get to the top 100 of any art form, it's all sort of the same level, and it just becomes preference. If you get to the top I don't even think that there's 100 comedians, to be honest. But if you take the top 50 comedians, let's say, they're all kind of the same level, right? They're all kind of up there as just fucking murderers. You got the top 100 movies, right? They're all just at a fucking level, and it becomes preference. Top 100 books, top 100 albums, top 100, TV shows, all these different things. It all kind of just sort of blends a little bit. But people are angry about it. I get it. People are angry about any list. No matter what list you have, by the way, if you do a top 100 of anything and you don't specifically specify that it's your opinion and you don't consistently repeat the fact that it's your opinion and that other people have other opinions, they're going to get angry. There's just, so everyone was upset about that for I don't know, a week, and then everyone forgot about it. There was very internet thing. So I don't even know why I'm talking about it, because nobody's gonna fucking care. Some people are still saying, Drake has a chance with the whole Kendrick thing, but some people are retards. So you just gotta, include that into the whole spectrum of things and ideas. We're not going to stretch this out for... Oh, wait. We do have something for the last. I completely forgot. We're going to check in. We're going to check in with, what's his name here? We're going to check in with Corey. Corey Haynes, Corey Harris, who cares? This is the judge giving him his sentence. Let's look at it.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
That, oh my God. I mean, that says it all right there about how that man how he views his outlook on life. So that was episode, was that episode 159, 159, 158, 160? I don't think it's 160. Who cares? It doesn't matter anyway. Nobody really cares about this podcast except for me. So thank you everybody for listening or watching or jerking off to me, whatever you did. I very much appreciate if you made it to this point. I hope you have a wonderful day and goodbye.